We have Tejasvi Surya, Member of Parliament from Bengaluru South, joining us on the show. Tejasvi Surya, thank you so much for speaking to us on the Newshour Agenda. And let me begin by asking you, what do you make of the government's decision today? Now, they've announced that there will be a retired High Court judge who will probe this. There will be a one-man commission of Justice Kunha. There's also the decision to sack 5 police officials, starting from the SHO to the ACP, the DCP, the additional CP, as well as the Commissioner of Police. Rather unprecedented action, would you say? And would you say that that is a result of top police officials talking about the kind of governmental pressure that they had that this action has been taken?
Well, the question is, who will now sack the CM and the Deputy CM who are primarily responsible for this mishap? That is the question that we must be asking. This is not a case where the police have acted independently. It is a clear case where the police have acted as per the diktats, as per the direction of the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister. I want to make 3 very brief points here. 1. The Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister come up with this plan to undeservingly hog the limelight of RCB's victory, to give strength to their political growing unpopularity, and therefore decide to conduct this whole felicitation program without exercising caution and without making sufficient arrangements to manage the expected large crowd. Instead, they go on their social media platforms, they give bites to TV channels and invite the public to come in large numbers and participate in these celebrations. We have seen how, after the World Cup victory in Mumbai, more than 15 lakh people participated in the celebrations, but not a single untoward incident took place. Here, no arrangement was made. The Deputy CM was seen going around in car, making reels holding RCB flag. We saw him going to the airport live on TV, behaving as though he himself had gone on the cricketing field and won the cup. I want to ask the CM and the Deputy CM, what in the last 18 years have the two of you done to support RCB, support the cricketing talent in the state, that you are acting as though you primarily were the reason for RCB's victory? Now, after they do this, they get their entire family, son-in-law, father-in-law, brother-in-law, the entire extended family, put them on stage in Vidhan Saudha and enjoy this whole celebrations, while the most common public are left on the streets in the stampede, suffocating to death. They are the only ones who are accountable and responsible. Not RCB, not the cricketers, not the police commissioner who is subordinate to these authorities. Now, second point. They have given this tried to hogwash this by a retired judge inquiry. What will this help? We have seen hundreds of such judicial inquiries, these, retired judge inquiries, which will take 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. Nothing comes out of it. And finally, the conclusion will be so ludicrous that it will say, everybody is responsible, but nobody is accountable.
No, Tejasvi,
we have seen all of these things.
I want to just read out.
30 seconds more.
No, I just want to read out from the FIR. You can respond to this. I'm reading out from the FIR, and this is very important because of the suspension of top police officials. The FIR says that it was conveyed to KSCA that if they held an event on June 4th as proposed, lakhs of fans would gather, which could disrupt public movement. More time would be needed to ensure proper bandobast. Thus, permission was denied. Despite this, KSCA, DNA Networks and RCB franchise insisted on holding the event on June 4, 2025 evening. Now, the point is, why did the government not intervene at this point? And if the cops have done their job of denying the permission, why are they being penalized?
Well, KSCA or the police commissioner of Bengaluru city are not authorities, institutions above the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister. It is their responsibility to tell these concerned people, whether it is the police or whether it is the KSC or anybody else in question. It is their responsibility to tell them that this is the police advice that we have got, postpone it by another 48 hours, postpone it by another 72 hours. The state is not ready to make these arrangements. And let me make it very clear to you. If KSCA has gone above and beyond and deliberately violated the directions of the police, then even they are squarely accountable, just like the DCM and the Chief Minister. But this does not absolve the personal role of the CM and the DCM. Why was the Chief Minister tweeting a public invitation? Why was the Deputy CM making live reels on live camera going in his convoy to HAL? Why was his entire extended family on the grand, going by their own words, grand steps of Vidhan Sauda in the grand felicitation program? Why were all of them present?
Right.
Now, with respect to accountability and fixing the culpability for this, suspending the commissioner or suspending the police is not the solution. Very clearly, the country has seen who wanted to take credit. It was the political leadership which wanted to take credit. It was the CM and DCM who wanted to take credit. Now, if you wanted to take credit and be the face of RCB's victory, which in no way was your doing, you must now be ready to also take the bullet.
But Tejasvi, I want to ask you, the Chief Minister in his press conference today admitted there was intelligence failure, yet the intelligence chief has not been touched. It is only the police commissioner and his subordinates who have been touched. Why is that the case in your view?
Sir, this is not a question of intelligence. This is a question of stupidity. Anybody will know that if a program is done like this, an open invitation is given, especially at a time when fans are so frenzied and emotionally charged, lakhs will turn up. Does this need a special intelligence officer to intelligently tell the Chief Minister? If the Chief Minister or the Deputy Chief Minister are intellectually so challenged so as to not understand what a political invitation by such important public office holders, especially at a time when fans are so crazy, what that would lead to, then you cannot blame the lack of police intelligence, but you will have to blame your own stupidity.
Absolutely.
Therefore, the responsibility squarely and plainly lies only and only with the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister. They wanted to take credit, but now they are not ready to face the bullet.
Absolutely. And in fact, one will have to see...
They wanted to take credit for a victory in which they have absolutely no role. But now, for a mishap which is completely their own creation, they are not ready to face the music and be accountable. How shameless is this?
Very, very, very important points that you've made there, Tejasvi Surya. Certainly, of course, we'll be seeing how this issue further develops. Of course, the High Court has already seen...
Madhav, I need 30 more seconds.
Yeah. Okay, quickly make your point. Quickly, yeah.
Yes, 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
While this whole, single judge or double judge inquiry goes on and the report comes and, whatever happens with that report, like we have seen in other cases where nothing comes out of it, there must be political accountability. Political accountability will mean CM and DCM, nothing else. Point 2, compensation must be made generously by the CM and the DCM in their personal capacity, not out of state funds. They wanted to individually hog the limelight of RCB's victory. And now they must cough up and pay and support the families who have lost their lives. 3, if I were a cricketer or if I were a franchisee owner like the RCB who has made thousands of crores from the loyalty and fans' love for my franchisee, though it is not a legal responsibility, I would consider a moral responsibility to stand with the families of the victims of this stampede and would
Absolutely.
generously come forward. This 10 lakh rupees is not sufficient. You have made thousands of crores out of the love and affection and loyalty of the fans. I think it is your moral duty to come and support them because आपकी दुकान इन्हीं के वजह से चला है. It is these fans who have made you heroes. It is these fans that have brought money to the RCB franchisee. 18 years in victory and in defeat, the fans have been with you. I think it is a moral responsibility. It is not your legal responsibility, but it is your moral responsibility. If I were a cricketer, if I were a franchisee owner, I would have done that. It is
Absolutely.
now up to them. Let them show their humanity.
Well, no
Let
amount
them
of
show their
money
humanity
can
again.
fill that loss that the family, the void that the family would be feeling. But certainly, of course, for the franchise which has profiteered, many would say that perhaps that is the very least that they can do. Of course, they will have to do a lot of answering, legally speaking as well, for their acts of omission commission. Tejasvi Surya, Member of Parliament, Bengaluru South, thanks so much for joining us this evening.